Yeah, I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. The best time of basketball. Best time of the year. Mid-April to mid-June. These next 2 months, cinema. Absolute basketball cinema. Let me ask you guys. Have you ever seen a first round, not a first round because we're in the second round. Have you ever seen a second round start like this in your life? I haven't. 4 games. All 4 road teams won. The first time in NBA history. You had 2 game winners. Indiana's up 2-0 on the Cleveland Cavaliers who won 60-something games. Steph Curry got hurt, and in the second quarter, and the Nuggets were not the Nuggets. The Warriors were able to pull it out. The Knicks came back from down 20. The Indiana Pacers came back from down 20. Best time in basketball. Best time in basketball, y'all. Welcome back to the MC show. It's your boy. We are back. We are here to discuss all the game ones that has happened so far. I guess game 2 because the Cavs and the Pacers have played 2 games. They're the only team to have played 2 games so far. Tonight are another set of game 2s. Knicks Celtics, Thunder Nuggets. We're definitely going to be tuning into that one because both those game 1s were crazy. I mean, the Nuggets technically came back down from 14 too. They were down double digits as well. So, shoot. Cinema. These playoffs have been phenomenal, bro. After last year, bro, last year's playoffs were so disgusting and terrible and boring. Like, I'm so glad these playoffs have been the way they are. The first round was tough in both conferences, and now the second round has been great in both conferences. Like, this is exciting stuff, y'all. This is exciting stuff. It's the reason why you guys should be liking and commenting and subscribing. I'm hyped. I'm hyped, y'all. You're not going to see this kind of hype nowhere else. ESPN will be hyped like this. They love basketball, but do they love it as much as me? I don't think so. Please, like, comment, subscribe. We slowly building this community. Listen, any thoughts, comments, suggestions, like, leave them in the comment section down below. It's free. It's free to discuss, to share your thoughts about anything basketball related. The first game we're going to talk about, or games, but mostly game 2 because that was a more recent one. Cavs Pacers. They were down 20 points. They got off to a terrible start. The Indiana Pacers, of course, got off to a terrible start. In game 1, they looked completely comfortable against the Cleveland Cavaliers defense. They made a ton of threes. Siakam, Nembhard, the rest of the crew were getting to the paint at will, driving and kicking. Like, they were so efficient in game 1. Game 2, you saw a lot more defensive intensity from the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Indiana Pacers had, I believe, 18 turnovers the entire game, and they also had double-digit turnovers in the first half. Cleveland was clearly putting like an emphasis on the defensive end. Indiana couldn't really do anything in the first half to get their offense going because the perimeter defense that the Cavs were displaying was top-notch. It was elite. It wasn't like game 1 where it was soft and the Pacers could get whatever they want. Like, they were locking up all the guys on the perimeter, and Indiana, who was hot from 3 in game 1, was not hot from 3 in game 2. They finished, what did they finish with? 11 of 28 from 3, which is, what, 37-ish%? But not the value that they had in game 1. The Cavs, they sent the message, they set the tone with all the turnovers that they were forcing. They were controlling the pace, dictating pace. Donovan Mitchell, who had a fantastic game, 48 points, 15 of 30 from the field, was way more efficient in this game than he was in game 1. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough. As good as Donovan Mitchell was, he was getting to the paint, he was getting to the free throw line, and it wasn't no foul merchant stuff. He was 17 of 21 from the foul line, but it wasn't like he was faking it. He wasn't flopping. Like, he was legitimately getting downhill, getting contact, and getting to the free throw line. Too bad it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Shout out to the other Cavs players though. Allen, 22 points, 12 rebounds. We're gonna talk about a lot of the mistakes that they made. Ty Jerome, 1 for 14. Yikes. It's so crazy because like Ty Jerome was cooking the Miami Heat in the first round. He cooked them in game 1. He cooked them in one of the game 3 or game 4. But statistically, his field goal percentage has been one of the 5 worst field goal percentages in the playoffs this year. You wouldn't have known that as a Heat fan because he cooked us, but he struggled on both sides. Halliburton was going at him. Shout out to Tyrese because I probably should have started off with him, but Halliburton with the game-winning 3 off a missed free throw. Miles Turner, shout out to him, taps the ball out. He gets it, well, I don't know, 10 seconds or so left, and Ty Jerome was on me. Food. Steps back, hits the 3, no timeouts for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they go up 2-0, yo. A few things gotta give some props to the Indiana Pacers. Again, they were down 20. Cleveland was dominating the first half, but in the second half, I thought they got off. The Pacers really started to play their game. They started running a lot more, running off. You know, they run off makes, they run off misses. It don't matter. They want to play as fast as they possibly can. And they did that a lot more. Halliburton, 11 points in the fourth quarter. He wasn't really having like a all-star game until the fourth quarter, where he made layups. Obviously hits the game-winning 3, gets to the foul line. So what really kept the Pacers in the game was the fact that they got 23 points from Aaron Nesmith. 13 assists, the playmaking. Halliburton wasn't playmaking at a high level either. He had 13 assists in game 1. He didn't have that many assists in game 2. But you know who did? Andrew Nembhard, 13 assists. Andrew Nembhard is a guy. He's a guy. 19 from Mathurin off the bench. The fact that Halliburton wasn't assertive until the fourth quarter. Siakam only took 8 shots. Man, that fourth quarter was just attacking the paint. They had over 20 points in the paint in the fourth quarter alone. That's horrible. Just in case you didn't know, that is absolutely horrible. 20 points in the fourth quarter. The Cavs defense was not good, and should have mentioned a part of that is just because they didn't have Evan Mobley, they didn't have DeAndre Hunter, and they didn't have Darius Garland. They were missing 2 starters and one of their main rotation guys off the bench. With Mobley and Allen there, maybe there's less paint attacks. Mainly, Evan Mobley is enough to disrupt the flow of the offense for the Indiana Pacers in the fourth quarter, but they just were getting to the paint. They were getting whatever they wanted. They were making winning plays. Transitioning now to the Cavs, letting up 2 offensive rebounds off of missed free throws is disgusting. It's disgusting. Aaron Nesmith had a putback dunk over Donovan Mitchell off a Pascal Siakam miss. And then obviously with the Miles Turner tap back to the Halliburton 3, like that's just bad. That's just bad. Max Strus had a turnover right before the play where Halliburton hits the 3. He just throws the ball away. Like they were fouling too much. They were sending these guys to the free throw line. They lucky. They are low-key lucky because the Pascal Siakam missed 2 free throws. Tyrese Halliburton obviously missed the free throw. Like, they hit the free throws, the game low-key probably wouldn't have come to that. But they lost their poise. Donovan Mitchell was tired. You have to give him his props though. Like 45% usage percentage. 45% is absurd. Shout out to Indiana, man. Getting 2 games on the road is unreal. Like, this is a real team. The Pacers have been excellent this entire calendar year. They've been absolutely excellent. Their defense is better. Halliburton has been, who started off the season slow, for a while now, he's been unbelievable. Siakam has been unbelievable. And they're role players. When in the part of the reason why they started off slow in the beginning of the season, Andrew Nemhard was hurt. Aaron Nesmith was hurt. They're not hurt anymore. They're playing fantastic. Like, this is a real team. They're going back to Indiana up 2-0. Like, with the Cleveland Cavaliers missing 3 of their rotation players, like, it's tough. It's tough. Like, if you're Cleveland, like, you're this game right here, this one's gonna sting for a while. To be up 20 at home and to relinquish that lead, and the way they relinquished it, because they kind of shot themselves in the foot, it's tough for them. But you have to shout out the Indiana Pacers, man. That phenomenal win for them. Phenomenal win. Transitioning to another comeback, the New York Knicks. Down 20 as well. 75-55 in the third quarter with like 5 or 6 minutes left. I turned the game off. I'm not gonna lie. I turned the game off. Like, to me, entering this series, I'm like, there's no way the New York Knicks can somehow beat the Boston Celtics at all this series. Let alone, even if they win a game, there is no way they're winning game 1 or game 2. I was wrong. Clearly, I was wrong. Clearly, they can win on the road. Clearly, they can. You get 29 points from OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson apiece. 14-11 for Josh Hart. 14-13 for Towns, who he wasn't really good. I'm not gonna lie. I know he had a double-double, but he low-key wasn't good. He did make some plays in overtime and in the fourth quarter, so those 2 quarters he was good, or quarter and a half he was good. But for the rest of the game, he wasn't that good. Mikal Bridges, who was 3 for 11, but man, did he make multiple defensive plays in the clutch. At the end, where they had the Boston Celtics had the ball, and you throw it into Jaylen Brown, just clamped it on, like, they didn't even get a shot off. He just rips the ball away from Jaylen Brown to get the W. There's another play where he made in overtime where he made a defensive stop on Jason Tatum. Like, their defense as a whole was honestly a little better than I thought. That, although coupled with the fact that the Boston Celtics were 15 of 60 from 3. Now, if you can't do simple math, that is 25%. They, I believe, took 100 shots. They only made, and 60 of them were threes. And they only made 15. That's 25%. Over half their shots were threes, and they made a quarter of them. And if you watch the game, a lot of their threes were disgusting. Jason Tatum was 7 of 23. 23 points. 16 rebounds. 5 turnovers. Derek White, 5 for 16 from 3. Tatum, 4 for 15 from 3. Jaylen Brown, who had 23 points. He was 1 for 10. Your 3 main scorers are all shooting threes. By the way, bad threes. Jason Tatum, step back 3 after step back 3 after step back 3. You know, a year ago, I told myself, you know, Jason Tatum, he's just going to take that shot. He's just going to take that shot no matter what. No matter how much sometimes we don't want him to take it, he's going to take it. That's just the shot he's going to take. There are times where he's making a step back 3 and everything looks good. But there are times like game 1 where he doesn't make the step back 3 and it looks disgusting. Their shot quality of all their threes, to me, were not great. I know Joe Mazzulla, their coach, might think differently, but I thought they reverted back to what they were years ago, where Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, instead of moving the ball, instead of getting good looks, they would just go hero ball, ISO ball, and just jack up random threes for no reason. I thought y'all graduated from that. But they reverted back to their former selves, and they were taking bad shots. And then on the other side, the New York Knicks, who are not a prolific 3-point shooting team, were 17 of 37 from three. 46% from three. If the Boston Celtics are not making their threes, and then the New York Knicks in this case are making their threes, like, I still think Boston's gonna win. I'm not overreacting. I don't want to overreact after one game. But if that's gonna be a trend in this series, then you know, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Boston. This is totally different from the Magic series, because in the Magic series, the Magic weren't even allowing them to the Boston Celtics to shoot threes. They got off 60. They got off 60. They need to do a better job. Their process wasn't horrible the entire night, but a lot of their shot selection was just wasn't good. I also have to mention though, Porzingis did leave with an illness. Apparently he's still dealing with that virus that he had a few weeks or months ago during the season. He also hasn't really been shooting the three ball well this playoffs either. They probably will need him in the playoffs. Obviously last year they went to the finals, but last year was last year. They went to the finals without him. They didn't need that. The competition is better this year though, so they're probably gonna need him. Celtics, just don't do what you did in game one and you'll probably win. I'm not here to say the Celtics won't win. I still think they're gonna win, because I don't know if the New York Knicks can honestly guard them when they're on. They were off this game. They're playing tonight, game 2. I expect them to be better. But you still have to congratulate the Knicks coming back down from 20, shooting that efficiently from 3, and Mikal Bridges and the rest of the team making really clutch defensive plays. Gotta give them their props. All right, last night, Warriors Timberwolves. Curry is the biggest thing from this game because he left the second quarter with a hamstring injury. Got word today that it's a grade 1 hamstring injury. He's going to be out a week. Looking at the schedule of the series, they literally have 1 day off in between each game, except for the games 5 and 6. They have 3 days off in between games 5 and 6. Every other game, if this goes 7, of course, is every other day. So it's very likely Curry will miss games 2, 3, 4, possibly 5. If you are the Golden State Warriors, you got 1 win. You stole 1 win. Obviously, we're gonna dig deep into that a little bit. Try to get 1 more, because if you get 1 more, then you're guaranteed a game 6 no matter what. I assume tomorrow, because the team seemed a little bit tired coming off of 7 games and putting their all into getting this game 1. I assume the team is going to be a little bit tired. They're probably going to lose game 2. But if you guys can, if the Golden State Warriors can get one of game 3 or game 4, guarantee them a game 6, then Curry can have so much time, like, I don't know what, like 13, 14 something days off before he comes back for game 6, or maybe game 5 if he's feeling completely healthy. We don't know. It's not a long injury. It's like a week to 10 days, but it's an injury you have to be really, really careful of, just because it can linger and it might cause other injuries. The calf might not be 100%, the hamstring might not be 100%, and then he goes out there and then boom, he strains his calf, and then now he's out because, you know, the hamstring caused something else. So that's the news on Curry. But even with no Curry, you get Jimmy Butler, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 offensive rebounds. We're going to touch on their rebounding. Buddy Hield, who had 2 points in the first half, finished the game with 24, scoring 22 points in the second half. Draymond Green, fantastic on both sides of the floor, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Their defense really carried them. The score was only 99-88. It wasn't a high-scoring game at all. You get good defense from the Warriors. The Warriors' game plan, run them off the 3-point line. This was a very good 3-point shooting team. Oh, my camera is dying. All right, let's hope we can finish this up, yeah. But their defense was get the Timberwolves off the 3-point line. The Timberwolves started the game 0 for 15 from 3. 0 for 15. They finished 5 for 29. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And a lot of their threes weren't good threes either. It weren't good threes. Warriors did a good job running the Timberwolves off the three-point line. Their defense was good all night. Anthony Edwards, 1 point in the first half. He did pick it up. He ended up with 23 points, 14 rebounds, 22 in the second half. A lot of that though was just him going to the basket. Literally, like any defender that was on him, he just went to the basket and laid it up. The Warriors paint defense. I don't think they have a real answer for Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards can score on anybody. They don't really have a good way to defend him, so he just kept getting to the basket. If they want to win, he just has to keep doing that, to be honest. Naz Reid off the bench, you know, he always kills the Warriors. He had 19 points, 3 of 7 from 3. But they started off so bad. The lead grew to, I believe, 23 points was the largest lead for the Warriors. The effort was just not there for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got out-rebounded. Warriors had 51 rebounds to the Timberwolves 41 rebounds. Like, the Timberwolves, you guys are too big to be allowing 10 more rebounds. Too big. You should be winning the rebounding battle. But they did a good job. You gotta give credit to the Warriors a little bit. They did a good job of trying to box out Rudy because, of course, he's a dominant rebounder. But they also didn't do a good job and just effort plays. Like, make the effort plays. Like, get the loose balls, box out. Jimmy Butler has 7 offensive rebounds. He's not an offensive rebounder. He's 6'7". You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a very impressive win, but the Minnesota Timberwolves can play a lot better, and I do expect them to in Game 2 tomorrow. I think that they will be, or when you guys are seeing this video tonight, they can be better. They have a formula to win this series. The points in the paint were in favor of them, 52-28. They could get to the paint easily on this Warriors team. They're small. And without Curry, it's just going to be so hard for the Warriors to score. If they score, if they do a lot better on the rebounding department, they can win. The Warriors is going to be really hard for them. They need to find offense somewhere outside of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler can't do everything. Buddy Hield has been providing great offense these past 2 games. Can he sustain it? Moses Moody, where are you at? I haven't seen Moses Moody score a basket in 7 years. Can you score a basket, please? Brandon Pajemski, what you doing out there? You wide open every single time, and you can't make a shot. Jonathan Kuminga, stop going ISO. You are not LeBron James. Like, they need to find some sort of offense. Pat Spencer came in and gave them good minutes. He had a hook shot. He came in and immediately stole the ball, forced a turnover. You might see more Pat Spencer, but Pat Spencer isn't necessarily someone who's going to score 20 points. You never know because it's the playoffs. You never know. But they need to be able to find some offense somewhere. Their defense isn't really going to suffer because Steph Curry is a guy people are going to try to pick on. That's one less guy to pick on. You could put Gary Payton in a starting lineup. You could put Moses Moody in a starting lineup. Those guys are positive defenders, but their offense is going to be an issue. Jimmy Butler is still dealing with the pelvic bruise, so somebody is going to have to step up. Somebody. Like, they get open shots, but Moody, Pod specifically, like, hit your open shots. Hit your open shots, and you might have a chance. Last but not least, of course, we got the Nuggets and the Thunder, who are also playing tonight. That is the second game. Aaron Gordon is the story. 22 points, 14 rebounds, game-winning 3 with a few seconds left to go on the shot clock. He had a phenomenal game. Just speaking of rebounding, like the Warriors and the Timberwolves. Listen to this. The Nuggets had 63 rebounds to the Oklahoma City's 43 rebounds. They had 21. The Nuggets had 21 offensive rebounds. Aaron Gordon had 7 by himself. Unreal. unreal. Jokic, 42 and 22, 6 assists. That man was bullying, and I literally mean physically bullying Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein. He got both of them in foul trouble. Jokic, listen, Jokic, he be doing these vet moves. He be doing these vet moves where he might be curling around to get posted up in on a low block, and you might have your arm like this, and Jokic is gonna be, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna, I'm gonna flop. And then they got a foul call. It happened to Hartenstein, literally that game. Jokic is like, listen, let me create the contact, let me sell the call, flop a little bit, and boom, let me get a call. Like, the physical dominance that he displayed was just disgusting. I was really surprised how much Chet Holmgren was on Jokic. Like, it was strength versus length, but strength won every single time. Like, he just bullied Chet Holmgren the entire night. Gotta shout out Marito 21, Russ 18. Russ continues to have a fantastic playoffs. OKC really struggled offensively a little bit. Like, I know they had a 14-point lead, but they can never get it past 14. They would get it to 14, then the Nuggets would cut it to 7. Then they would get it back up to 11. Then the Nuggets will cut it to 4. Then it will go back up to 12, and then the Nuggets will cut it down. They can never consistently keep the lead. Like, the Nuggets had 18 turnovers. OKC was forcing turnovers, live ball turnovers. Caruso, 5 steals. He was great on both ends. He had 20 points. He had 5 threes. He had 5 steals though, 2 blocks. Like, he was amazing. But offensively, outside of Shea, 12 of 26, he has not been efficient this playoffs at all. J-Dub, 5 for 20, not good. You are their second scorer. They need you. Chet Holmgren missed 2 free throws at the end. He only had 12 points. He missed all 3 of his threes. None of them even looked like they were gonna go in. It wasn't as efficient as an offense as they've been all season. Caruso and Dort together, 9 of 18 from 3. The rest of the team, 6 of 25. And obviously, we're gonna get to the foul thing, but they weren't that great offensively. And the Nuggets did enough to keep themselves in the game throughout. They was able to hit timely threes, get timely offensive rebounds. The Oklahoma City Thunder foul a lot. And when I say they, I mean the Denver Nuggets got to the free throw line a bunch. They were able to maintain a safe distance before they were able to clutch it out. But the reason why they were able to clutch it out is because they messed up. Oklahoma City messed up. They fouled. If you're up 3, you guys know the rules. You up 3, you foul, especially with no timeouts for the other team. OKC, they executed that, but they executed it wrong because Alex Caruso fouled too early. Like, you didn't even let the Denver Nuggets get up the court before you fouled them. And then Chet Holmgren goes to the other side. As the Nuggets are hitting their free throws, Chet Holmgren goes to the other side and he misses 2, and then boom, defensive rebound. Westbrook gets it to Aaron Gordon, but then boom, can't do that. Like, this is not the end of the world. I don't want to overreact to one game, but Shea got to be a lot more efficient. One of the things about Shea is that he had a really good MVP season because of the fact that he was scoring so much, so efficiently. And he hasn't done that besides like one game in the playoffs. Game, was it 4 or 3 in the first round. J-Dub, 5 for 20. Like, people were doubting, can they have a second scorer? J-Dub, you're that second scorer. You can't go 5 for 20. He was missing all of his mid-range jump shots. My camera died, but we are back. Don't worry, we are almost done. I don't even remember where I was, to be honest, but I'm just gonna do it again. Somebody else on Oklahoma City has to score. This game is only one game, but this game sort of highlights what everybody was talking about. The fact that who's the second scorer? Is J-Dub last season had a really bad second round series against the Dallas Mavericks. So there's a little bit of pressure on him for him to step up and be that secondary scorer. We know Shea is gonna get his, although inefficient. He has to be better efficiently, but he had 33 points. J-Dub, 5 for 20, no. Chet Holmgren, 12 points, you gotta give a little bit more. I don't know if Alex Caruso is gonna have 20 points again. I don't know if he's gonna hit 5 threes again. So it has to be your all-star J-Dub and your future all-star Chet Holmgren. It has to be those guys. Those guys have to step up and be more efficient and take better shots and finish around the rim and do all those things. They have to do it. I'm not necessarily worried about it. I don't want to overreact after game 1. I don't want to do that. You may lose game 1, but you make the adjustment, you get right back on track. That's why you never want to overreact after one game. It's an interesting matchup. Like this was always going to be, to me, in my opinion, this is going to be a long series, and it's going to be an interesting chess match. So what the Oklahoma City Thunder do, we'll see. We'll talk about it another time. But hey, these 4 games were amazing. Playoff time is the best time of basketball. We will talk another time after some game 2s, maybe even some game 3s, but definitely see me later in the week as these playoff series get underway. That's all I have for you guys today. I know, don't cry. I will be back, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, family. Get this video to as many people as possible. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.